Today I want to give you some tips for just drawing some basic flowers. These are all kind of doodly type flowers, so nothing specific, which I think makes them more fun. So let's jump in and draw a few of these together. So I have broken down each of these examples to kind of show you, give you some step-by-step instructions, I guess. So if it's easier to follow these, then you can. And when I do it, so for example, when I do draw this one, I kind of draw the whole thing at once a little bit. So if I were drawing that one, it's just kind of these upside down teardrop shapes that are all together to make this little flower, and then there's a little triangle on the bottom. And then from there, I'd probably draw one here, and I'd get my stems in, and then I would know where to draw these. So I think everyone likes to draw their little doodle flowers a little different, so no way is right or wrong. And from there, I can look and see where I have some negative space. So I know I need to put some leaves here to kind of fill it in. So I could just put one there and maybe one here. And I could do a little branch of leaves there, and maybe a little branch of leaves on this side too. And maybe one more here. And then the last step would just be drawing the lines in the leaves. So the key with drawing flowers is you're just kind of filling negative space. So it looks complete now because I put in the leaves, and so leaves are a great way to kind of fill extra space. Next, I want to show you how to draw this one. And so for the petals for this one, it's kind of like a loose heart shape. So if we were to draw a real heart, it'd be something like that. So it's kind of reminiscent of a heart, but we're just going to put 3 of these kind of heart shapes together. And then what I like to do is start in the middle of this one and go to that one, and then add just a few more little background petals. Something like that is great. Then you're going to add 3 little upside down teardrops there, and then you're going to add a stem to that. Then I like to make, this would be a large one, so then I like to make one more over here that's going to be a little bit shorter, and it's not going to have as many of the petals, so it's kind of a flower that's not as bloomed yet. And then I'll add that in. From there, I'm going to add some of the leaves, and these leaves are filled in. They're rather large, and they have a kind of a white section, so it's kind of like you draw one leaf and draw another leaf inside it, and it's this inside part that will stay white, and you'll fill in that outside area. And so I'll just go down and kind of alternating sides, add in these leaves where it makes sense to add them. I like to do little stems coming out, but you could also just connect the leaf right to the main stem, and that would totally work too. I think I kind of have a mix of that in the example. So something like this, I feel like maybe we could add one. That one's looking a little funky, so I think I'm going to take that one off. And I think that will balance out. Once these are all darkened, then I think that will look good. The last step would just be to add some little detail lines on these petals, and you have some cute little flowers. The last one on this page is really easy. So it's going to be 3 upside down teardrop shapes, but we're doing a little bit more space in between them on these. So something like that, and then we're going to do 3 more connecting ones behind. And these are the ones that would be filled in. And of course, when you're doing them, you'd fill them in all the way. I'm just doing it as an example. So those would kind of be like that. Then from here, we draw a stem, and I could do one more of these. Again, same concept as this other one where I'm going to draw it a little bit smaller to kind of balance it out. And we'll connect that one in. These leaves are really long and thin. That's one of my favorite thing about leaves, is just changing the basic shape of them totally changes the look. They have a line down the middle, and then these petals have a bunch of lines. So that's another way to kind of change up the petals, is adding these fun little detail lines to it. So that would give you something like that. A few more, if you flip the page over, there's a few different leaf examples, and I love these because it's just easy way to change up the leaves. So this example just has a bunch of little leaves, so I do like to draw kind of the stem out first and where the leaves will go, and then from there you can add the little leaves to it. So you're just kind of filling the negative space, and sometimes do 2 leaves together or just one. You can even add leaves that aren't connected if you have kind of a negative spot where you need something. That works well too. So there's a little example of that. These ones down here are really fun. Put this over the top. So for these ones, these are very round leaves. So it's kind of like the teardrop shape, but very round. And you can just add a few. You could do as little as 2 or 3 of these, and I think that would be really cute. And then for the inside part, it's kind of just one tall little loop like that. So it's almost like it's a little leaf inside the bigger leaf. And then again, we just fill in the outside portion all the way with our pen. And then the last one I just wanted to show you was this example. So these ones are really fun. It's just kind of filler, and they're totally organic looking. So it's just one squiggle line that comes to a point and another squiggle line. And I mean, you could do 2, you could do 3, and then you'll do the same thing, but just smaller on the inside. And then it's going to be all this negative space here is going to be dark. So that little inner part of the leaf is going to stay white. So those are just a few easy examples. There's more here that you can use, and they're super fun to add to your cards or even to your arch that was in your spring box. Super fun, an easy thing to add to lettering. And that's it. That's just a few examples. I love florals because they complement lettering so much when you need to balance things out. So this is a perfect thing to add to some of your greeting cards or even your arch that came with your spring box.